Hey everyone, I'm going to make a quick video this morning. I'm just sitting in my kitchen. It's too much for me to type out. It's been a long, stressful few days. I've ran this farm since 1992, and it has just received a death sentence. So I'm going to give you many different topics this morning. It's going to be a little bit longer video. You're not going to believe how deep this corruption runs, and I'm going to expose quite a bit of it this morning. Why? Well, my farm's received a death sentence that I can't recover from. My farm is dead. I've accepted that. The writing's on the wall. I won't have a farm maybe in a year or two. Maybe 6 months, maybe 3 months. Let me tell you what happened. The Democrats and the Minnesota DNR, they have an unholy alliance. Jamie Becker Finn, Rick Hansen, DFL, and there's probably more, and the DNR. Colonel Rodham Smith, he's a little dink. I've asked for a meeting with him several times. The top guy won't return my calls, won't have a meeting with me. He's running scared. The guy in charge, the colonel of the DNR, won't have a meeting with the retired sheriff. What's his problem? I don't have a voice, you guys. So we've got Craig Engwall, the 30-year DNR guy. He's been appointed to the top of the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association. More filth and unholy alliances there. So what's going on? The Democrats, Rick Hansen and his group, they know we don't have the votes. We don't have the majority in the House. We can't pass a law that will just totally outlaw deer farms because the Republicans won't go for it. So they scheme and they ponder and they lie. They go on a media campaign to turn the public against deer farms. They turn little pit bull dog lying Lou Cornicelli loose a couple years ago to go on K-Fan with Billy Hildebrand and lie about deer farms, ignoring all the facts. They don't want to talk about this map, which I'm going to show you later. This is a map that shows, I'm sorry, it's a little blurry, all the cases of CWD in Wisconsin. Every one of those black dots represents where they've found CWD. We could triple it for the CWD that they have not found. So what does this mean? If each dot represents where they've found it, and they've only tested 10% of the deer, that means we can take this times another 90%, would that be right? And put dots on there for where deer have been that have died or that have not been tested. Lying Lou doesn't want to talk about this map 30 miles from our border. Let's not talk about that. Deer farms are evil. Deer farms are bad. They got to be shut down. Lying Lou got fired. But the DNR, it didn't faze them. Let's just keep marching forward. Let's keep telling lies. Let's get deer farms done with. Okay, so here we are today. The Democrats don't have the votes. They need Republicans to come on board to destroy family businesses. So the Democrats partner with the DNR and they say, let's just do another third or fourth movement ban. Every time they do this, you guys, it strangleholds my business and every business in Minnesota that raises deer. But please understand, it's my video this morning. I'm talking about my farm, but it's impacted many farms all across the state. It has impacted them big time. So what's going on? The DNR does a 30-day ban. Then they do another 30-day ban. Then they try it for 2 months. Okay. Now they've done it till April of 2023. So I don't have a ability to move any animals till April of 23. When I book a major sports show, they advertise for a year that I'm going to be there. They tell all the vendors, Steve's going to have these monster bucks on display. We're going to have a good crowd. It's going to be a great sports show. And then all the vendors, the mom and pop businesses, they say, well, if Steve's going to be there, it's going to be a good show. It might be even just a little bit better if Steve's there. Let's spend $1,200 on a booth space and get in there and sell our product. So the sports show owner builds the show around his attractions. Then all these awesome vendors come in, add to the show, and we have a great sports show. And then they advertise and spend their advertising budget. They print up 40,000 brochures. They print up, do their Facebook ads, radio, TV. And then a week and a half before my appearance at the sports show, they just say, oh, the DNR did a ban. They're worried about CWD. And Steve, you can't bring your bucks in a trailer to a sports show. Sorry, forfeit your income. You can't go. Well, how many years do you think these sports show vendor operators and these hardware stores will continue to advertise that I'll be there when I can't fulfill my contracts? The DNR knows this. So the DNR just says, hey, we're going to put Steve in a stranglehold. We're going to shut down his business because we're fighting CWD. But Steve, what have I done? I've tested 130 animals. 130 animal brain stems and pairs of lymph nodes have been pulled out and tested, roughly. I don't have CWD. And the science is, if I had CWD and I test 130 animals and they're all in the tight little area of a quarter of land, eventually they'll all have it. So if you sporadically test everything that dies, we'll know you don't have CWD. But the DNR doesn't want to do that. Jamie Becker-Finn, she testifies at the Capitol. Well, Steve, we know the deer you tested didn't have CWD, but what about your live ones? Those are the ones we don't know about. Okay, Jamie Becker-Finn, the science is no good then. So you guys can shut me down. But let's look at the facts again. You guys, this map, I'm going to be going back to it several times with all the dots for Wisconsin in cases of CWD. This is important, okay? Because here's what's coming. I'm not allowed to go to a hardware store. They put a stranglehold on me. Why did they do that? They don't have the votes to shut me down. They do it, sue me, we don't care. They want me to go cry to my Republican senators and say, well, now I'm broke. I'm bankrupt. I can't afford to feed my animals. So what are we going to do? Well, then if they come to me and say, they know it's a chess game, they know and say, well, we'll let you do business in April. Well, no, I can't book any shows now. Those guys aren't calling me. What am I supposed to do? They're sitting back smugly saying, maybe you want to ask for a buyout and let us win. Get your Republican friends to vote for a buyout. We'll give you one. Oh, okay. So you guys win. You've starved me. I talked to a farmer the other day. It costs him about $2,500 a month to feed his deer. He quit his job to be a deer farmer. He was making money. He's having hunts. Things are going great. 62-year-old man quit his job, and now he's supposed to feed his deer $2,500 a month with no help. No, nothing. Your income's just done. So what have I heard from state officials? I've had some good meetings with some senators and other state officials. Thank you guys who care. The Democrats, no. But my Board of Animal Health, they want to help. They're here to help. So they've sent me a crisis hotline. Can you see this? You see what it says here? It says, you may be feeling anxious, depressed, or despair and need to get things off your chest or talk to someone about your farm's situation. Please know there are people available to talk, text, or email. The Minnesota Farm and Rural Helpline is available 24/7. So you guys can't feed your animals, but here's a phone number you guys should call. 1-833-600-2670. If you're feeling some stress, call that number. You're going to feel better. So I called up Monica. She didn't even know what was going on. Nice gal. All she can do is listen and say, oh my. Oh my. That's not good. I bet you're frustrated. So here we are. My farm's got a death sentence. They've orchestrated this, so I have to try to get some Republican friends to come on board for a buyout. And I'm not going to have a farm. Can I still have hunts? Yeah, I can. For now. I have hunts coming next week. I'm booked full for next year from people all over the country. Those hunts, I think, may happen. I don't know how quick a buyout will come or how quick they'll dig a hole and shove my deer in a pit. But it's coming. The writing's on the wall. But what corruption is going on? Here's where you guys need to listen, okay? So, I can't bring my deer to a hardware store. They're just fighting disease. For all you little knuckleheads out there who try to comment once in a while that, well, they're just fighting disease. You got to understand the disease is a big deal, Steve. You got to understand. Oh, really? How come I'm selling thousands and thousands of bottles of urine all over the country to be splashed on the ground by all my customers? I freeze it as soon as I collect it. Again, 130 brainstems, no deer coming on. I have a clean herd. Everybody knows it. But they shut down me going to a hardware store. They send game wardens to the hardware store to talk and harass and threaten the store owners. Come in my yard, you guys. You game wardens, come in here right now and threaten me. Let's see how that goes. You're little punks. Contacting my customers and threatening them, sending them certified mail. You have a mission to ruin my business. Leave my customers alone. But they won't. So they harass my customers. My show business is dead. Okay? But I can sell thousands of bottles of doe urine. My phone rings off the hook. I spent $230 on shipping one day last week. It's going all over the country. If I had CWD, don't you think my urine business would be shut down? But we don't want your trailer going to a hardware store. We're going to send wardens because, man, if some urine came out of that trailer, you'd be spitting prions and you got CWD, and we're just worried about our wild deer, you guys. Wink, wink, nod, nod. He's selling thousands of bottles of doe urine. Why won't they shut me down there? Well, because I'm just a little podunk farmer. We can screw with him, but these big urine companies all across the nation, we can't really do anything. They got lawyers, they got attorneys. We're just going to leave that alone. So yesterday I had a good talk with a high-ranking official in the state, and I asked him, I said, could I, and I've talked to the Board of Animal Health about this, and they said I could I tomorrow, you guys, maybe some of you want to join me. Maybe we should have this serious conversation, right? This little center right here is about 30 to 50 miles from our Minnesota border, full of CWD. Jamie Becker-Finn testifies at the Capitol. Once it's in the soil, once it's in the vegetation, it's there forever. You can't kill it with bleach, you can't boil it away, and you can't kill it with fire. It's there forever. It's not if it goes to people, it's when. It's all lies, you guys. And nobody can question her and say, why are you lying? Here's my question. I asked the Board of Animal Health, I asked this other high-ranking official, can I go here tomorrow and pick up a load of hay? The hay will have plastic bottles, maybe a fawn bone, some feathers, dirt, dust, debris baled up in it. Can I pick up hay from this part of Wisconsin, the epicenter of CWD, and bring it back to my farm to feed my Holstein cows and any wild deer that want to chew on it? Yes, that'd be fine. Yep, you can do that. Do you guys, I asked both the Board of Animal Health and this high-ranking official, would this be a threat to bring CWD into the area? Yes, that'd be a big threat. You know, we're talking about that. We're thinking about what we need to do. You guys, there's 26 states that have CWD. 26 states. And now they're telling me we're having discussions on how to stop hay from coming into Minnesota. Hey, all you cattle farmers, buckle in. Get ready. Some of you guys, livestock producers, are like, well, it's just deer farmers they're screwing with. It's no big deal. They're leaving us cattle farmers alone. It's good. Hey, when we're dead and gone, you're next. Step in line. Pheasant farmers, step in line. All you farmers, step in line. The Minnesota DNR is not done. What if I get a pickup and a trailer? Contact me. Do you guys want to get a caravan of maybe 100 pickups? We drive down here and we buy hay and we bring it back by 100 little pickups, and we live stream the video the whole way. Should I do that? I'm asking. Private message me. Should we do it? When are we fed up and going to take our state back? This is a serious threat, but I can't bring my deer to a hardware store. And if I do, they send game wardens there to harass them. I'm mildly upset, mildly fed up, you guys. This is the biggest crock of crap I've ever seen. Colonel Rodham Smith, you're a little dink. You're sending game wardens to private property to do inspections. Do you understand the rules of criminal procedure? Do you understand the rules of due process? They can't come on private property without a search warrant or consent. I've asked for a meeting. I don't get a meeting, and nobody's listening. What's going on? Rights are being violated all across our state. You're the top law enforcement guy. You took an oath to uphold the Constitution, and you do nothing, and you won't meet with me. Have a meeting with me. I'll come anytime to meet with you. I want you to explain to me how your officers can go onto private property. Well, we got co-authority from the state legislature. Bullshit. That's what I'm calling on that, okay? They did not tell you that you could avoid the rules of criminal procedure, that you can go on private property, that these people, they don't have a right to have an attorney. They don't have a right to remain silent. They don't have the right to have, to deny consent or ask for a search warrant. You're telling me that's what co-authority means? That you get to walk all over my rights? I don't think so. Okay, I'm not as worked up as I sound, but this is my farm you're taking from me, okay? Look at this, you guys. This is the Board of Animal Health. I touched on this the other day. Can I point something out here? Rick Vaught does not have any cows. He doesn't have any cows. He doesn't. Okay? What does the law say? Rick Vaught is on the Board of Animal Health, okay? Rick Vaught, this is the law that governs him. And it says, if you read this, 3502, nobody cares, nobody wants to listen. I have to follow all the rules, and they can just violate my rights and then violate their own laws and not have to listen to me. The board has 5 members appointed by the governor, Ding Dong Waltz, with the advice and consent of the Senate. 3 of the board members must be producers. You must be a producer of livestock. Where? In the state. And 2 of whom must be veterinarians. Well, I got a question for you. If they built this board and they put one person on there and they said, you know what? He's not a vet, but we don't care. He's just not a veterinarian. It doesn't matter. 1 vet and then just a friend and 3 livestock producers. Would that be okay with you guys? If we have one vet and the other guy's just somebody's friend? That wouldn't be good. But what did the Board of Animal Health do? They decided, let's just get 2 livestock producers and a friend and 2 vets, not 3. Jim Vaught is on the Board of Animal Health. He doesn't have any cows. He's violating state law. Look what they did to cover up for it, you guys. This is off the Board of Animal Health. Pull it up and figure it out yourself. It says Dean Compart. He's the president, good guy. And the legislator knew this. They knew when we make this law, we need livestock producers on the board to best represent the industry, to best represent our farmers in the state. We need good, qualified people who understand farming on the board, and 2 veterinarians. So Dean Compart, what did they put here? They put swine producer. What does he raise? You guys got any doubts? What does Dean Compart raise? He raises swine right there. That was easy. The next one here, it says she's a veterinarian. Do you think if I ask if I can see her veterinary certificate, she'll give it to me? I bet she would. What's the next one? Jessica. Oh, another vet. I bet she has a veterinary certificate. I bet she's licensed. Then we've got Erica here. What does she raise? She's a poultry producer. What does she raise? Some type of bird. And I bet if I go ask, can I see your birds? I'm gonna be there. And she's gonna show me her birds. And she's knowledgeable about medications and antibiotic and feeds. The legislature knew that. They want qualified people. So what do we got here? We got Jim Vaught. The board, they just decided to write producer. But here they got swine, and here they got poultry, but Jim, he's just a producer because nobody knows. He doesn't have anything. So Jim Vaught doesn't fulfill state statute. He's on the board. Let me ask you a question. Who is Jim Vaught? Jim Vaught is a member of Bluffland Whitetails. Bluffland Whitetails gives out awards. They have about 18 members in southeast Minnesota. They're very vocal on destroying deer farms. They give out awards to Jamie Becker Finn, Lying Lou, Rick Hansen, Senator of the Year. You're trying to save our herd and you're our friend. If you look on a map, you're going to find that Jim Vaught, John Zanmiller, a lobbyist for Bluffland with their 18 members, John Zanmiller and Jim Vaught and Rick Hansen, they all have land side by side. They all know each other. They're all members of Bluffland. So here we've got Rick Hansen leading a lie campaign to get rid of deer farms. And Rick Hansen decides, hey, you guys, we can't beat the deer farmers through a legislative process because we have the minority in the House. We need Republicans to want to kill deer farms, and we're not going to get that. So since we can't kill them through the lawmaking process, let's kill them through the rulemaking process on the Board of Animal Health. This is Rick Hansen's brainchild. Rick says, let's get my friend on the board. He doesn't have any cows, but it's okay. Let's get him on there anyway. So Jim Vaught, Rick Hansen's friend, is on the board. What's going on? Where's the outrage from the Minnesota Cattlemen's Association? What the heck's the matter with you guys? We're your little brother. We are deer farmers. We don't have 2 nickels to rub together, and you're letting us get stomped into the ground. Well, good for you guys. Let us get stomped. No pull behind us. Don't support us. But if I go get hay, and I get 100 trucks to go get hay out of Wisconsin, do you think that if I do live streaming and I say, hey, I'm going after a truckload of hay, and I got 99 other pickups following me. This is real easy. The DNR wants to fight CWD. They're concerned about the wild herd. I can't go in a parking lot and have my deer on exhibit because some urine might fall out. I can sell thousands of bottles of doe urine, though. That's okay. And you know what? You can bring back 100 truckloads of hay from this area to your house and feed your cows. If I do that, and I say, hey, Sarah Stroman, you little witch, I won't. I'll turn around on one condition. Exercise your emergency authority and do a ban. Do a ban on hay coming into Minnesota. I'll turn around and I'll stop. I'm going to go. That's what I'll tell her. I'm thinking about it. You guys message me. Sarah Stroman, you little witch, why don't you do a hay ban? It's easy. You got the pen. Pull it out. Ban hay from coming into Minnesota. Executive order. You have the power. You've shut me down. Now keep exercising your power. If you truly care about the wild herd, don't let me go get hay from here. Shut me down. Here's my number. And I'll post my number and I'm going to take off. Sarah Stroman, call me today. 218-526-0180. Dink Rodham Smith, call me. Let's have a meeting. Okay? Call me and tell me not to go get hay, that you're going to do an emergency order. You're going to shut down all hay in the Minnesota. Why won't you do it? Oh, you're not going to mess with the livestock producers. So there you go. It's no longer about disease control, you guys. Because if it was about disease control, we'd be doing different things. If it was about disease control, you guys, she would have shut down this map. Would have been shut down. What is this? Sarah Stroman, what is this? You've seen this. The USGS, they did a study. And they said, who's hunting in this endemic area? This is science that they ignore. Which hunters go here and hunt? Is this just a few people in Dane, Rich, and Iowa Sauk counties that hunt here and get tested for CWI? Or is there people from Florida going in there to hunt? Well, let's look at this map. Look here. Oh, this is a zip code map. If you bought a license to hunt in the endemic area of Wisconsin, if you bought a license, let's say, and you're from Florida, you put your zip code down. And you say, I'm going to travel from Florida to go shoot me a Wisconsin deer. And then you shoot that deer, and you take that deer from the endemic area, you take it from there, and you drive it all the way back to Florida, and your deer got registered. So in this particular year, they wanted to know who's hunting this endemic area, where do they come from, where are their zip codes, and here it is, right here. Guys, what's going on? Why don't they shut down people hunting from Florida, driving all the way up here to take deer? And people from Minnesota, look at this. All these people shot deer, each red dot, from Minnesota. They shot deer and brought them home. And then they fed the bones of the deer to their dogs and threw them out in their backyard. That's what they did. And then the prions survived the intestinal tract of a carnivore. This is okay. We're not going to worry about that. And Steve, you can sell thousands of bottles of doe urine, but by God, if you bring your deer to a hardware store in an enclosed trailer like you've done since 1996, we're shutting you down. And then we're going to harass your customers. We're going to harass them, send wardens there. And we're going to threaten them and send them certified mail. You ain't doing a show in this state ever again. And then I got people say, Steve, well, you've been very vocal. You've been hard on the DNR. I have the right to free speech. Again, I'm exercising it this morning. I have a right to free speech to stand up for myself. You people that say that I shouldn't be doing this, shame on you. It's my farm. I'm going to fight for it. But I accept the fact that my business is destroyed. But I'm not done fighting. I'm going to keep fighting. But the day is coming, 6 months, a year and a half, 3 months. We're going to have a backhoe. We're going to shoot all my deer. My show bucks are going to get shot. We're going to throw them in a pit. That day's coming, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's just whether they steal it from me or they pay me for it. If you want to go get a truckload of hay, I want to know how much interest there is out there. And you say, Steve, you'll be spreading CWD. No, I won't. I fully expect them to stop us. They can do an emergency order and prove to me they care about deer. I don't expect to come back with any hay. Prove to me that you care about CWD and you're just going to shut us down from buying hay in this area. Do an emergency order. Sarah Stroman, you little witch. Do an emergency order cutting down on hay. There you go. So, hey, everybody, call me. Let's get a caravan together. I want to see how much interest there is. If I get 100 people that say I'm coming, well, then we'll probably do it. And Sarah Stroman, we'll turn around. Just do an order. It's simple. Flex your might and prove to us that you care about the Minnesota deer. Otherwise, 100 truckloads of hay will be spread on Minnesota soil. Sounds logical to me. Do I want to do it? No. Prove to me you care about CWD. Thank you, everybody.